Disclaimer, this video is made for an adult audience. What's the adult fan of Lego upside solbrick in the house? And I'm standing here next to a hole, and this time around it's not the hole in my soul or the one in the ozone layer. No, it's the one right here. I'm going to have to cover that shit up, and I'm just going to basically remove all the stuff here, and I want to have the mountainside it's just gonna go up here. Right now it's on the side because I used to have this in a whole other area of my little room here. So these pieces are going out and we're going to have them up here, and then we're just going to extend this maybe in just to get a more interesting shape, so it will go in like an L or something here. And we're going to place a building here. Yes, that's going to happen. Maybe have some stairs, so this will go down a level. That could be pretty funny. Maybe, just maybe, I should have filmed how I did this. But basically I have these 2x4s as pillars that's holding everything in place here. So that's super sturdy. Turns out that the gay bar can't be here without leaning over, because this is on a diagonal, so it's pointing out too much here, just by like a half a millimeter. So we need to build another building here that's going to be, well, 5 studs deep instead of 6, so we get a bit of clearance here. And the same for this building, but I think it will be 6 studs, and I'm just going to place it further out. But I think it will look cool with a really slim building here going up here, and a little bit wider but still pretty narrow building. It's 2 studs more narrow than the gay bar and the use bar and whatever bar. It's the same, no, it's actually 2 studs wider than the rainbow office, so I mean it's a lot of space. Before we begin, I just want to show you this plate. I totally cracked it. I don't know what's that about, never happened to me before, but I've noticed that Brixar, it has happened to him a lot. Here is the base for this new building. And it's nothing special, just like this. Let's pop that in there. And I always like to start with a window. And what comes after a window? Well, a door, so you can get into the shop. It even works. In the window I want to have this little piece, because on it you will see what's being sold in here. It's a fancy helmet store. So fancy with helmets. You gotta protect your head. Your mind is pretty valuable to you. Turn that around. So starting off with some white pieces and some shelves for some more helmets. And the cash register. Backdrop for the helmets, so that I need this space behind here so I can get in the helmets without them being hard pressed against the wall. A classic blue helmet and a yellow one to celebrate the fact that I'm Swedish and these are our colors on our flag. Ja, jawohl. 1x1s. And in the front here I am going to have a stud on the side like that. And then just put this brick in piece in place. And on the upper side, similar wall with the, I don't know which country that is that has pink and red in their flags, but it's probably a pretty lovely country. Shout out to you citizens of that country. So happy that you're watching right now. I really enjoy your food and your music. Am I doing this right? I think I'm doing it right. I might be doing it wrong. So down those pieces. And then I will pop these plates in place. So So we create a little bit of depth here. And then that piece and that piece. And we go like so and so. Already starting to look pretty nice. Second floor. I was wrong, sorry. And the second floor I'm going with this dark red because as you saw I cracked the brown floor. And then just a white piece here to cover that up for the front. And these are the pieces that the helmets on this second floor are going to be on. Nice. I want to have these profile bricks as walls for that side, so it looks pretty sophisticated in here with the dark red floor. Maybe it's a carpet and those pearl gold details. Super fancy. And up here there's going to be a dog. Because these helmets are of course super expensive, so no one can really afford them. So she who works in here, she spends her days alone. But she only needs to make like one sale a year, then she's good for the rest of the year. More profile bricks. And on the other side we have those white nice pieces to frame that in. Well, maybe I should already pop in the lady who's working here. Look at that cool outfit. If I could focus there. It's from Harry Potter. Those collectible minifigs, I think it's the ginger guy. I never remember his name. He has no soul. So she can be standing here waiting for that yearly sale. And this is where I'm getting into a bit of trouble because I couldn't really align the plates for this floor perfectly. I had to do it a bit illegal and I didn't like that. So now it's only fitted like this with one stud down here. If we could focus on that, so. And I know there's those pieces that are 2 bricks high, but I don't have them right now. I have an order from Lego that's lost somewhere in Germany right now. And I'm going with the dark blue because that's a rare color in my collection. So this is a pretty posh helmet store. Some nice windows in here. Yeah, I really like the contrast between the dark, deep blue and the white. And the yellow here adds some much needed life. And you need flowers. That's just the way it goes. And the third floor, I'm going with brown here. Let's hope it doesn't crack. Hooray. Pretty simple standard walls up here in dark gray. This is going to be the residential floor for the lady that works down here. Maybe she's called Ulla-Britta. And Ulla-Britta, she needs her beauty sleep. So let's build a little bed for her in here. These rounded sloped pieces. Super comfy. And on the wall she can have this little clock. Grandpa clock, I guess it's called. Nice. And then a little lamp so she can read before she goes to bed. Because she's not watching YouTube, they don't have internet in Sultan because it's a dictatorship if you missed that. A drawer in here. And a pot with a flower. That's kind of cozy. But something is missing. And I'm not talking about the ginger soul, I'm talking about the coffee mug. So that's going in there. Pretty much finished in here. I need to get some light from this side so that I can shine it over here for coming videos. Something to work on. There's always a room for improvement on the YouTubes. And let's see. Let's pop that in place up here. And that part, like so. And then this part. It's a natural gap in between here, but I don't mind. It adds some details, let's say. And I ran out of the pieces that are 8 studs long, so you gotta go with what you have, right? And then that part is going in there, and that part is going in there. Let's see. This is the last floor, so now it's time for the roof. I'm going with gray, just because I like the contrast to the white when you look upon it. Some siding, like so. An air duct for ventilation. That's usually what they are about. So, looks pretty smart. And for the top here, I made this piece. And it's basically these pieces, like so, and so. And then I have this piece, 2x2, place it like that, and you get a nice rounded shape. I'm gonna pop that in there. And look, it's flush. So that looks good. Not on the side so much, but that's going to be covered up by other stuff. It's the front and the interior I'm interested in. Yeah, I definitely need better light here, so that's not in the shadow. And on the front here, I've created like a golden thing with a light there. So that's going to be a little overhang here. So if it rains, you don't get wet immediately, and you have a lamp. And then I have this little piece that I made, and that's going in here. And I'm going to use this helmet from Avengers, Loke, as it's called in Swedish. So that's a cool shape. And Loke is of course the trickster in Norse mythology. And I really love prints on helmets. So these are the helmets that I'm going to showcase in here. So, and that's another one, Octane one. Octane is my favorite oil company after Shell. And those nice stars. More stars. Lego loves stars. You're the star of my heart, dear viewer. All right, man. I'm just gonna pop this in place, come on. As you can see, I pre-tiled this area, and I made this trash bin. Pretty familiar design, I guess. If you know where I stole it from, let me know in the comments. And then this park bench, I think it's from a creator set. Pretty nice design. Pop that in there. And another person from the Coast Guard. They're just hanging out, talking about nautical stuff, I guess. And here are some flowers. and a step. Now it's time for the popping in place. Yeah, it actually do fit pretty nice against the back here. Let's see if I can just press that down. And then the chimpanzee that needs to be on the roof. Don't smack the monkey. So, yeah, I rather like that. Let's crack on with Luke, such a trickster. Now let's crack on with this building. Here's the second building. I'm not going to show you how I built it. It's pretty much the same technique. And I put in the Swedish flag here as an homage to my heritage. But I can show you some cool techniques here. That's similar to the other building. The snot pieces here. Like that, but I used a second plate here behind just to give it more depth from above. And then that gives a pretty interesting little shape here. And it's funny that this, if you have a plate down here that really aligns. They were so smart. And I got these red profile bricks. I'm not sure if I like them. They're a bit too dark maybe, but these flowers brought some life to it, and I like this pattern up here where I use some profile bricks and some not, like it's worn down this wall. And because of the IKEA level, I needed to go one stud in here. Now this building is hiding a terrible secret, but let's start in the bottom. You have a normal entrance, and here it's you can take that out. It's just, you know, your regular jam display with some cherries inside. They've fallen off. So one might think that this is a business that deals in jam, and this lady down here is actually jamming to some good old rock and roll. But it hides a dark secret in here. It's a lab for making new cake recipes. Now there is only one cake factory in Soltown, and it's state owned. So this is some underground stuff going on. They even have a scientist in here working on this, and a chef or a baker. So they mean business. And they can really fit in here. It's a bit crowded, but they're working on some it's like the Lepin factory in here. Terrible. If we take a look here on the top floor, there's like a display room for the cakes that they made. So super seedy business going on. Now I'm just going to put this all together and place it in my city. So let's see. Totally works. Yes. And let's have a little handheld camera action for you. A bit tricky. I really like this building. It looks so funny. It's a bit inspired by the littlest skyscraper that's in Texas, United States. There was some sort of a scam where they scammed people into investing in a skyscraper that was it was tiny. It pretty much looked a bit like this skyscraper we have here in Soltown now. So I think that's fun. And man, this Luke hat, his helmet is falling off all the time. I need to secure that somehow. It's made of this rubbery plastic, so gets the clutch power isn't as good as normal. So I hope that we someday can see this in 3D, because it looks really cool in real life. We have Unikitty up here. Hello Unikitty. Or is it one of her friends? I haven't seen the show, so I do not know. A fun thing with the vent here on the back side is that I use tanned color just to give that illusion of white color that's been sun damaged, like a lot of pieces that I have in my collection. So that's pretty nice. And yeah, you could probably push this down a lot better. So, and the wall back here hides, well, it almost hides that little gap there. I'll have to do something about that. And with that said, make sure to like yourself, stay out of the nonsense, stay awesome, and please subscribe.